So today I wanted to talk about cycles, and there's a couple different reasons for that. And I am in my garden right now where it is late summer and it is the season of the harvest. So I've got a lot of things to harvest: tomatoes, basil, parsley, beans, squash, zucchini. We planted nasturtiums this year and they kind of took over the world, which was kind of fun. It was a little bit much, but the hummingbirds love it. So we'll go with that. And then these sunflowers just popped up. So that was fun too. And we've got pears. We actually have two pear trees. This is one of them. Those are about ready for harvest and have started to fall. And we have raspberries. They have these little covers on them. I'm calling them sun hoodies because it was really hot here for a few days in the 90s, and they get this like sun scald, and so I covered them up. I think I'm actually going to take the covers off today because it's supposed to be cooler. And then along the back here, we have grapes. And these grapes are amazing. We have a green variety. We have a kind of like reddish variety here. And then we have my favorite, which is this uh, purple variety. They're kind of more tart and they're really, really good. So I wanted to talk about cycles and seasons because I'm in the season of the harvest and there's a lot. We have a big garden. I didn't show all of it. We also have an apple tree, another pear tree, a whole area of blueberries, like 10 blueberries. So there's a lot of stuff to do this time of year to gather, and I'm doing different things with it. I am eating some of it, like the grapes, they just get eaten. I'm also preserving some. And sometimes it's one thing at a time, and sometimes I'm combining things. So I've been making a lot of applesauce and I did apple butter, and I started adding ginger to it, like crystallized ginger. And I did some applesauce. And then yesterday I just did some apple leather with the ginger. And today I'm going to do grape apple leather. So one of the things I like to be creative with is food. And I was thinking about how this relates to the work that I'm doing in gathering all of my ideas for my coaching program, and how sometimes I have an idea and I go and apply it right away. Sometimes I combine it with other ideas. Sometimes it's like it needs time to like cook or marinate with other things, or I'm preserving it. And with my garden, there are things that I'm eating or cooking right away, or I'm storing for later, or I'm sharing. I just give away to people because we have so much. And I'm relating that to what I'm doing in my business. There are things that I'm giving away, and there are things that I am combining, I'm putting together for later use. And it's it's recognizing that this is a time when there's a lot of work that went into getting to this stage. And so I'm devoting a lot of my time to preserving the harvest. I work part-time on my business, and I have a part-time job running this small farm basically. And so there are certain things that I don't do during this time of year, like organizing my house at all. I do basic cleaning and maintenance. And other seasons of the year, I do more of the major organizing because I just know that I'm not going to have time for that with spending as much time as I want and need to use and preserve the harvest, and also enjoy this beautiful time of year and be outside and just go down to the river and go camping and be enjoying my life. So that's one way that I have found to embrace the natural kind of ebb and flow of life, to not try to be in the height of summer all the time, always producing, because that's what our culture has taught us. It's like, if you're not producing, then there's something wrong. And we want to be in this late summer season all the time. And we don't recognize the value in the times before and after that. So I met with a friend of mine yesterday who's also a coach, and she created this masterclass a few weeks ago that just came to her. She was really in the creative current, she was in the flow, and it just came to her. And she delivered it masterfully. It was so much fun for me to watch and witness this, because one, I love seeing people in their creative flow, which is why that's what I want to help people do. Part of why. And also, I felt no jealousy whatsoever, maybe for the first time, because I'm getting in my own creative flow. So, what I realized was the times before when I would go and I'd see another coach doing their work, and it felt like they were doing it really well and they were getting in flow, I would have mixed feelings. I would feel some joy, some excitement over what I was learning from them, and just being in somebody's presence who's really shining their light. But also, because I didn't know how to shine mine and I didn't believe it was possible because I was trying, I would also feel deflated. I would go into the compare and despair. And I didn't do that this time. I was able to just bask in her light, knowing that the way that I show up is going to be different. We have a lot of overlap. We've taken the same trainings, a few that overlap, and yet I'm going to bring my own unique style and personality to this work, and she does too. So I don't feel so much of the competition, and I didn't go into compare and despair. And that was an amazing experience. But the other reason I'm bringing this up is that I talked to her yesterday, and she told me how after that master class, she had a ton of ideas, and just like the next class downloaded for her. She just immediately could see what was the next one. And she started working on it, and she was advertising it to her list, and she basically burned herself out. She canceled it because she did not have the energy for it. And I realized how it related to what I just did, where I delivered a workshop. The birds are really talking about it right now. I delivered a workshop. I had a ton of ideas on how to make it better right after the night after, as I was laying in bed. And I allowed it to integrate. I didn't rush to do the next thing, because I'm understanding more and more the cycles. That just because you have a bunch of ideas for the next thing, it doesn't mean it's time to go harvest it. It's like those are seeds that you're planting, and they need time to germinate and to grow. And so we try to rush into, okay, now I did this thing and I have the idea for the next thing. So let me do the next thing because I'm in this current and it feels really good. And I'm afraid that if I get out of it, I won't get back in. So I'm not going to rest. And I have these ideas. So I must need to take action on them. And it's like, no, it's not time to take action on all of those. It's time to observe and integrate internally. And then you can start growing and building on those. And so we were having this conversation yesterday, and she came to that conclusion, but it was after she had, gone a bit too far, and then she had to pull back. And what we're wanting to do, and what I'm designing into my program, is how do we embrace the natural ebb and flow of life without doing the, oh, I did too much and now I have to take a break, but just tuning in, taking that break earlier, resting, recovering, understanding that, you know what, you're actually still working. This is all part of the creative cycle. Integration is a key part. And when you when you create something and you harvest, you get to enjoy that. You don't just go directly to the next thing. So I'm allowing that to marinate and really see how do I design that into my program, and being aware that right now where I am in my cycle, in my like monthly menstrual cycle, I'm in the waning period. So you all have seen me in the waxing period where I had like tons of ideas, and it was just like there's so much going on. And now as I'm getting closer to my period, I can feel my energy coming down, and I can feel there's more tendency for fear and doubt and the kind of thoughts that are going to lead me away from what I want. And so, as I was laying in bed last night, when I woke up in the middle of the night, as usual, I was noticing that, and I was like, okay, so this is not an integration time. This is not a time when the ideas are flowing and I just want to absorb and witness them. This is a time when I just want to tune my attention to my body and not even pay attention to the thoughts, and really just observe them, allow them to be there, and bring the attention down into my body. Breathe into my belly. I like to bring my attention down into my pelvis and into my feet, and just really feel that groundedness, that being supported, telling myself I don't need to do anything right now. I don't need to figure anything out. It's just being. That's it. And I know from experience because I used to do this monthly cycle where I would have tons of energy and idea, and I'd be on that creative current, and I'd want to keep riding that wave even once it was gone. And so then I was like trying and forcing, and then I would feel bad and need to rest, but I would follow the thoughts. I would believe my thoughts more about, well, maybe I'm not doing it right, and what do I need to do next, and all of this. But what I've learned is as I recognize that I'm in this part of my cycle and I don't believe the thoughts, I bring my attention back to deeper truths that I know to be true, that we ebb and flow. There are creative cycles and currents, and they're at different scales. We have cycles that are daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, seasonal, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong. So as I bring my awareness back to this is just a natural part of the cycle and there's nothing wrong, I'm not wasting a bunch of energy fighting what's the natural ebb of the current. So I was thinking about the ebb and flow and how every moment in our breath, that's what we're doing. It's the ebb and the flow. And the ebb is really the inhale, right? We're taking in what we need, we're taking in nourishment. And we can't have the flow without the ebb, yet in our culture. And now we've internalized it that we need to be always producing. We need, there needs to be output all the time. And that's just not the way that we work. It's not how nature works. And humans are part of nature. So why do we keep doing that? Because of the conditioning and the culture at large and all of that. So what we're doing is definitely counterculture and hopefully turning it into mainstream culture, because what we have now is not really working for any of us very well. But it takes being aware of that and consciously deciding that I'm not going to listen to the messages that are not the truth. They just came from the culture and now I've internalized them. And the more that I do that and I allow this time, and I go, okay, I have a bunch of stuff that I started, and it's not time to keep working on that. It's time to give it a rest. I'm doing this video. I'm still working some, but I'm not forcing it. and it's a lot less. There's a lot less that I'm doing. And so today I'm really focusing on my garden, on preserving the harvest. I'm going to make the grape apple leather. I'm also going to make some apple chutney and make a grocery list and maybe ride my bike to the grocery store and just do stuff around the home. I also have a class with one of my coaches this morning, which I'm going to attend, and it's a group call. And I'm not actually asking for help. I thought about asking for help on my next stage, but I don't need help right now. And that would put me in the, well, I need to continue moving forward. So I'm going to go and I'm going to listen to what everybody else is getting help on. And I know that that's going to help me as well. And then next week, I will ask for help. And that was also a shift, because thinking that, well, if I have this call, I should ask for help. I don't actually need that right now. And that puts me in a state of mind and being that's incongruent with where I am in my own cycle. And the more that I honor my cycle, I know that after my period comes, like a day or two after, I'm going to be back in the current. All of this stuff that has come up that is kind of sitting there, and I don't quite see how it all fits together and how it all relates and connects. The connections are just going to come. They're going to be made. I'm going to be in another creative flurry. And because I didn't fight the ebb of the current, then I have energy for it. And that creative flurry happens, like it's going to happen anyway, but it actually, there's more that happens in that time when I allow the ebb than when I'm pushing all the time, because I have more energy. I didn't expend energy unnecessarily. So that's what I wanted to share today. And I'm going to stop there for now. Um, and I guess just give a little preview of what's to come. So I'm realizing how much my work is really about the creative process. So I started a new big sheet of paper, and in the middle, I just wrote creative project. And then there are creative cycles. And a creative project can have one or more creative cycles in it, depending on how big the project is. And then there's also the creative flow. So I'm working on that. I'm recognizing, I knew that health and creativity are the things that I'm really interested in and passionate about. And when I say health, I use it a little differently than other people. So I started using the word well-being because I think of it as your overall well-being. It's your physical health and emotional, mental, spiritual health. Also, it is your fulfillment in life, your relationships. Like I feel like it's all of it. And I was really leading with that of prioritize your well-being. And I might stick with that. I don't know. That might be a good way to bring people in, but I'm really enjoying talking about the creative process. So, what if that's what I lead with? That might be where I go next. I'm not sure. And I'm bringing this up because I'm really glad that I started doing these videos when I did. And I didn't wait until, oh, I have this clear sense of this is exactly what I'm doing and what I want to focus on and what I want to invite people into, because I invited people into my world based on my understanding of what I was inviting you into at the time. And then as I continue to do my work and to evolve and learn and grow, then what I'm delivering, what I'm offering may change. And that's okay. You can decide to stay or to go, and that's fine. That's just taking away the requirement that I have to get to a certain point before I can be sharing my work in the world, because the work is never done. It's always going to evolve and grow. And I just keep bringing myself back to, what do I already know? What do I want to share right now? And what am I learning? What am I working on? What are my questions that I have for myself that I'm actively and passively investigating? And I think there's value in that. And I think that's not such a common thing in our culture as well. We think we have to get to the answers and we have to have a really well-formed argument and presentation, and then we go and we share it with people, and then it's more of like a convincing thing. Like, okay, here's what I know, and now I'm going to teach it to you, versus I'm exploring these topics and I'm inviting you into the exploration with me. So with that, I'm going to go finish my coffee in the gazebo and absorb this. So just have like 15 minutes of quiet time where I'm not really doing anything. I'm just allowing all of this to integrate, and I can look around. I'm seeing a squirrel running around right now. Observe nature, the sights and the sounds and the smells and the feel, and then I will move on to some other garden processing for the day. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.